A little shocker this week for drivers in Vaughan. Drivers of gas-powered cars suddenly found themselves getting ticketed for parking in the electric vehicle parking spots at Vaughan Mills. The GM tells us the spots recently became active in the last 2 or 3 days. Well, that is not the only shock that drivers are feeling this week. How about that cold? It's hard enough on humans, but what about its effect on the electric car? Well, joining me now to talk about it is CEO of Plug and Drive, Kara Clairman. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So as any cell phone user will tell you, they know what the cold does to the battery. It dies really quickly. What about the electric car?
So what you find is you will have a reduced range compared to a regular, what we call a perfect EV day, like no heat, no air. That's the ideal day. So what you're going to see is if it's, 0, -5, you're not going to see a significant impact. Where you see the really significant impact is what we've got today, like -20. Then you will see a drop in your battery range as much as 30–40%.
That sounds quite significant. In terms of distances, what does that mean?
So, for example, I drive a Chevy Bolt, and that has 400 kilometers of range on a perfect day. In a day like today, I'm going to get something like 230 kilometers.
So you drive an electric vehicle. How do you find the battery life is when it's this cold?
Well, you know what? There is a significant hit to the battery life. However, it's not as crazy as one might think. I think if you were to preheat your engine a bit, that keeps it going for a while.
If you're a person who's taking a long road trip on a -20 day, then, of course, then you do have something to think about.
Say if you're visiting family over the holidays.
Right.
What about speeds? Does that mean you can top out less when it's colder than when it's a normal EV day?
Well, that's true. Driving at any time. So if you drive faster, of course you burn through your fuel more quickly. True for gas cars, and it's true for EVs as well. So when it's this cold, to manage your range, you might drive, a little closer to the speed limit.
Just the fact that you see something like a 40% drop in weather like today, would you say that electric cars simply aren't Canadian climate friendly?
I wouldn't say that at all. Again, you have to remember that most of us only drive 30 or so kilometers a day. So for most of us, the range is going to be plenty. By no means are these cars not suitable for winter. I have to say, actually, their traction in winter is amazing because they have that really heavy battery underneath, and that gives you great stability in the snow. So there's lots of benefits as well.
And they're certainly becoming more popular. In fact, the ministry tells us there's currently 16,000 electric vehicles currently on the road here in Ontario. So there you have it. It's not just humans being affected on a really bitter cold day like today. Amanda Ferguson, City News.